Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Falcons to Men and North Catholic. Today I'm joined by
Zawisza Class of 1976.
Ray. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, John, man. Another day above ground is a good thing.
I'm loving the North Catholic gear. You got the shirt there in the background.
Yeah, you know what, John? That is my old. I played freshman football, then I played uh, JV football. That's my old practice jersey from the JV program.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's tore up. I was a tackling dummy for the Will Quicks, the Billy Shanks, and the John Sigmunds. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
yeah.
And it's still intact.
It's yeah, well, it used to fit me with shoulder pads. I can't get over my head now.
So, are you ready to take a trip down memory lane?
Absolutely.
All right. So, Ray, and I'm sure that everyone's answered the same, but why did you choose North Catholic out of the other schools you could attend to in the neighborhood?
Well, I went to St. Laurentius. I was lived in Fishtown. I went to St. Laurentius, and we were a feeder school there. So it was that or Massbomb,
Okay.
unless I go to LaSalle. I took the test for LaSalle, and I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go to the prep, because all my buddies were going to the North Catholic, so I wanted to go there. So, not that I flunked the test on purpose, but I didn't put my whole heart into it.
Right. And with North, I guess you didn't have to take the test, like you said, because it was a feeder school. It's like
Yeah,
you
correct.
graduated and
Yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, how the tuition worked, the tuition was paid through my mom and dad's contribution through church, and that's how our tuition was paid.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, do you remember your first day at North Catholic?
You know what, John? I do and I don't. I mean, I came from St. Laurentius, which I think my graduating class was 28. And then that was a small school, like you said, your wife's from the Fishtown.
Hmm.
So, and when I walked in there, I didn't know, was it a good thing, bad thing? I had no idea. It was just like you palled up with a buddy of yours from the neighborhood and you just hung out from there. But other than that, I was like, the funniest part was when I came in, I was D17. My last name is Z. And my son he was a 98, he came in and he was D7. And with all those kids, you figure you got 40 kids into a homeroom and you're missing 400 kids,
Yeah.
compared to that, it was sad.
So I'm sure we can both agree that North Catholic had some really great oblates and teachers at our school. Which teachers and oblates stood out to you?
Um, I'll tell you, my freshman year, I had Father Green. He was he was a pretty cool dude. I think he boxed, but he had the biggest hands I'd ever known, and he would slap you on the face just to wake you up. And then Mr. Fran Doc, he was just a class act altogether. I had Father Gondak as in typing, which was like freshman, sophomore, then junior and senior in typing, and he just cracked me up. But like it was just a group of, I guess, well, nobody treated you really on a bad side. They kind of formed you like you were Plato, and they formed you into starting to be a man. So I they're the guys that kind of stuck out on me.
Yeah. Well, one thing about the teachers at North Catholic, whether you were participated or like with all the clubs or whatnot, if you were going down the wrong track, I mean, they really stayed on you. You know what I mean? These guys really wanted to make sure you succeeded in life. So
Oh, absolutely. That was one thing. If you got in trouble at North, and then it trickled down to the house, you got beat twice.
double jeopardy,
What's that?
double jeopardy.
Yeah, correct. You ain't lying.
So, Justice Under God, otherwise known as Jug, were you a participant?
I was not.
Wow.
John, I played varsity baseball for 4 years, and you got Jug. Two things. Once you were an athlete, if you had Jug, your other teachers kind of, the coaches kind of smoothed out the jug situation.
Mhm.
And then, but I was more of, technically I wasn't a knucklehead. My mom and dad kind of got me on the straight and narrow, and I always went that way. Don't get me wrong, I did some crazy shit, but other than that, it was just I never spent time in there. I got a couple of them jug shirts, but other than that, I used to tell people I'm captain of jug, so.
Nice. So you mentioned about playing some sports, and I know when you and I spoke on the phone, you had some really interesting stories, some locker room stories. So we obviously know you're a baseball player. Did you do any other sports or any other clubs
Yeah,
besides that?
I did the CSC program with Father Hagen, which was pretty neat. I enjoyed that, to interact with some of the kids from the neighborhood, and that was basically it. Getting involved just with the sports programs. And I remember when I was in 8th grade, and this one guy from the neighborhood, he got cut from the baseball team. And he asked me, Ray, where are you going? I said, I'm going to North. He goes, you going out for the baseball team? I goes, yeah. He said, don't. It's all Juniata. It's a clique. That broke my heart.
Yeah,
Because baseball was number one to me. So now I'm saying, do I want to go to North? Don't I want to go to North? But mom and dad said, no, you're going to North. So
and that's true. Even in the '90s. So I mean, our neighborhood was baseball. So I mean, you name it, our neighborhoods played it, and that was is true. Even when I was there, like they said, it's a lot of Juniata kids. Coaches were Juniata, but we were just as good, if not better, than the kids from Juniata. So and
yeah,
obviously,
I got matter of fact, I think it was our sophomore year football, and my one good buddy, his name's Jim Whitehead, and defensive tackle, mean as can be. And he knew I played baseball. And what happens is they alternated shower time. Offense went in first one day. They stole all the hot water. Defense went in the next day. It was one of them. Well, I was all dressed, ready to go. And he asked me, he goes, Ray, you got any deodorant? I goes, yeah. But I didn't have a wrapper around the can. So I threw it to him. He starts spraying it, and it was spray pine tar. And yeah, he turned around. His arms were stuck, and he just he started chasing me with the towel. I ran. I think I beat the L home that day, and he was chasing me.
that is funny.
Yeah. Another one was Tommy Wenger in baseball. God rest his soul. We After practice or games, we would go take a shower, but he would get. We all got master locks, and they're all the same. He would
Right.
lock all the locks together and throw them in the middle of the locker room floor. They're all locked up. So everybody's naked around there trying to get their damn lock, their combination lock done. So I remember I painted mine like orange, so he wouldn't do that, or I could find it right away.
That's great.
And I got another one. I think it was after baseball practice. I know his name, Marty Wisniewski, all city defensive end. Well, he would come in, he would lather himself up, with soap, and he'd be running around squirting everybody, read between the lines, make believe you're getting all wiped up. Yeah, that was pretty cool too. With just a little stuff like that. It just you miss,
Yeah.
it.
Locker room stories, man, the hallway stories. I mean, I don't think there was a corridor you could have turned at North Catholic and somebody was doing something crazy. And like you said, you're sitting around a bar or the reunions and you just sit there and talk about the stories and just laugh like it just happened seconds ago.
Oh, you're right about that. While you got the bar situation up, Dagwood's Pub, they have the center court of the pit in there. If they hold a lot of, he's a graduate, I think 80 or 88, I think Eddie is. And they have a lot of like North stuff there. Like they'll have a Dingus Day or North Day after Dingus Day or something like that, But he has the center court of the pit there. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I actually I live up this way, so I go over there a lot. And actually, I had a football helmet that I got, when the school was closing. That was Darryl Robinson's, and I'm getting ready to retire soon and move on. So I donated my helmet to Eddie in the bar. So it's sitting up
Ah,
there with the other one.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So your stint at North Catholic, the cafeteria food, how was it?
I was a French fry nut. I love the French fries. I do not remember the donuts. I don't remember them, but my one good buddy, Kevin Salmon, he's a
Mhm.
soccer player, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Well, his sister, older sister, worked in the cafeteria. So technically, I didn't have to pay for anything. I'd have these ham sandwiches, burgers. I was all stocked up like Wimpy's, Wimpy, and just didn't have. I remember a sandwich was a dime, just crazy stuff like that. But French fries was my go-to.
I remember in the morning time we used to have it was like a hot ham and cheese bagel, nice and toasted on the you know when you didn't do your homework when you were supposed to do at home and you get into school early in the
Oh,
cafeteria.
oh, absolutely. There's days that I've done that too. I remember I was flunking French. I had Father Shannon. Yeah, that's it. And he said, Ray, you're flunking French. And I goes, yeah. He goes, you got to take it to file next year too. I goes, again? I goes, I'm going to flunk it next year too. And he goes, at least you got French one twice. You can't flunk it twice. So I took it the following year, and then I just squeezed by that. I don't even know why I took it because like I use it now. The hell out of here.
Yeah, who uses anything? I couldn't tell you. Even when I took Spanish, but I forget it, dude. I think I learned more Spanish on the police department than I did at North
Oh,
Catholic.
I bet you did.
Your proms at North Catholic. You remember any of your proms, your senior prom?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't go to my freshman or junior or soft hop or nothing. I went to my senior prom, and that was held at the Falcon House out in I think it was Upper Darby, Lansdowne area, right off of Westchester Pike. And I remember the car I took, my dad's 1968 Thunderbird.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it was that was my favorite car. And Kevin Salmon went with me. So I had my date, he had his date. Well, Knucklehead had a bottle of Mad Dog 2020. So yeah. So he drank the whole thing. So we get in the parking lot. He's sick as a dog, throws up all over friggin' his date's dress, and then it started out like that. But the rest of the night went all right. But I don't know how his end went, but you know, I said, you got to clean this car. I'll tell you that, Kev. He goes, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So if somebody was to come up to you, and I'm sure you maybe even had this question, what was it like to be a North Catholic Falcon?
You know what, John? I wore it in pride. I loved it. My favorite colors are red and white. Red especially. But being a Falcon, it just I don't know. It just I just loved it. I felt like a peacock, spreading his feathers.
Mhm.
That's the way I felt. I got another story if you want it. I got
Absolutely.
yeah. My neighbor was a bus driver, right? So I either had two ways to get home. Take the 5 bus down to Haggard Street in Fishtown and walk from there, or take the L to Girard and you go from there. Well, he would tell me, I remember his name was John Flaherty. He would tell me, he says, Ray, I'm running the 5 bus this month. I goes, all right. So I'm on the corner. He picks me up. So I just walk on the bus. And he says, I see him at home. He goes, Ray, put a penny in. Save your tokies, but I need something to go tink, 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 tink down his chute.
Yeah.
And he said, tell a couple buddies. I goes, oh, all right. I think I have 100 guys. Yo, just put a penny in. We loaded that bus up, and all you hear is tink, 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 tink. He goes, Ray,
Yeah.
not that many guys, yeah,
You know,
that
I
was
remember the old septic coin things. Like you said, it was kind of like a
yeah,
zigzag.
exactly. Yep, yep.
Remember that?
I saved the tokens and for another rainy day, but he took care of us that way. That was pretty neat.
Wow. So, where do you think? How do you think North Catholic has got at you to where you are today in life?
I think one thing, it came from the house. Mom and dad really kind of, it was just my brother and I. My brother was a 77 grad, and it came from the house. They were strict on us. And, but it grew me a little more to understand, life, like to be out in the world. And I mean, I wasn't no book guy. I mean, I was a top 10 student in track 4, so I just book I knew I was going to be like a laborer of some sort, if I didn't make it somewhere else. But it how can I put it? It just I'm going to say grew me again. It was fun.
Yeah. So well, let me ask you this question. What would have been your fondest memory at North Catholic, whether it was school, sports, whatever? What would have been your fondest memory?
You know what, John? I have few of them. My first one would be meeting all these friends. I mean, kids from different neighborhoods and becoming friends. I have a picture. I might have sent it to you. I'm not really quite sure, of me and Eddie Zielinski's senior week. Okay, in one of those booths, those kissing picture booths,
Hmm.
you know, and uh, at the Norphans thing, we reenact the same picture at the Norphans thing. I gave him a smooch on the cheek. He had a whole head of hair, and then he grabbed me by the head and we got a headlock. And then we did the same thing at over in Keenan's. So he was one of my best friends not growing up, but he was from Juniata, and it that the other thing was making varsity baseball. Here's one I just picked up saying that when I made varsity baseball, I was the grunt. I did all um, the water equipment and all the other stuff, and they assigned me a babysitter. And I remember his name was Jerry Smith. He had a 442 gold car. He would have. I remember Mr. Malizia saying, "You got to take this kid to practice." I'm only 14, maybe 13, 14 years old. I don't even think I had hair around my balls. You know? And I've got these kids 17, 18 years old, and he it, that was one of his jobs, to make sure I got from point A to point B. Then after my first practice or game, they put a stool in the middle of the locker room and they told me to get into my jock. I was on my jock. I had my jock anyway, so I was in my jock, and they said, "I need you to sing the alma mater." I says, "I don't even know the alma mater." So they wrote it on the board, and I sung the first verse, and then they all hit me with the damn water, and then I was kind of welcomed in there. So that was pretty cool too. I was scared shitless, I'll tell you that.
Who wants to be balls ass naked in front of everybody? Being a freshman. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, that's a
Especially
truth.
if you're not well endowed, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that's what I kind of keep the socks rolled up.
Hey, do you remember when before, well, in the '90s, before class started, we always said the direction of attention, the class prayer. Do you remember that by any chance? Do you remember how that goes?
Yeah, I think what is it? My guy, give me this class. Give me the grace to do good in it, and in a manner close to you, or something like
Yeah.
that.
You know what? That's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. That's pretty good. Um,
Do you know what I think what room that was in, or was it in all rooms? I don't recall.
no, yeah, it was pretty much in every classroom
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that
You
they
know
would
who
honor.
set that up? I think I heard
Yeah.
Brother Art.
Really?
Yeah. When you get to talking to Mike Shane, well, here we go. When we played in the championship game at the Vet 1975, we played Cardinal O'Hara. We lost to them 2-1. Mike's in the Inquirer. He was only I think he's the second pitcher having 13 strikeouts and losing a game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know, he pitched his ass off. So I remember that game. My dad, he kind of he had one of them little. He was videotaping it like
Mhm.
that, and don't you know, he can't find the damn thing. It's sad. We
You
tried to
know,
go to Joe Malizia's house, but he passed away, and he's had his brother do it, and but they don't know where that's at either. I don't know. So
there is on YouTube, where this will be uploaded to later, Mr. Malizia. It's called Malizia Sports or something like that. There is videos. I don't know if it happened to be your particular game, but there's basketball games. Not all, and not even all North Catholic. I mean, there's other schools as well.
oh yeah, that's what he done off to the side after when he wasn't um, coaching.
Yeah.
What I loved about being an athlete at North was we didn't have to go to gym. We had no gym at all.
Hmm.
And we'd have to get sweated up. Like even if your first period's gym, I ain't going to gym. I don't have to go to gym. I went to rolled into the second period. I think the one aspect was they don't want somebody to get nicked up or whatever it may be, doing something stupid and
Yeah.
then you're sitting out. So, but that was pretty cool. I had a pretty
So
good roster. My junior and senior year, I was out like 12. My last period was lunch. I never went to lunch. It was just,
yeah.
I'm out of here.
Now I remember they had the board when you first walk into school. You got to see if your teachers were out, because then you were able to get out earlier.
Yeah.
Like that was like one of the first things you did when school. Like you'd walk through those back doors, and you first thing you would check to see who's out for the day and see if you're getting home a little bit even earlier. Did you guys have that as well?
You know what? I do not remember that too much. Uh, being out so long, John, I mean, sometimes I don't remember what I had for breakfast. It's just coming around to that. But what I remember was the cinders on the track.
Yeah.
I mean, when we have football practice, I mean, you were picking cinders up. Well, let's put it this way, John. You're a Port Richmond guy. You had to play at Cahawks when it was cinders, right?
Well, no, I cinders. No, I don't remember Cahawks being cinders. I remember Newts and
Oh, Newt
Fishtown
was
being
cinders,
cinders.
yeah, but Cahawks was close to that, I think.
Oh,
But yeah,
wow.
I know Newts was cinder. I played there quite often. You know.
And Hetzel's
Well,
Field and
yeah, yeah. Well, when you see Hetzel's Field now, it's just like it's like a diamond in the rough. It's beautiful.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me see. I got matter of fact, my family owns a kielbasa shop, right? And then Franny Alba, Mr. Alba, he comes in all the time. He looks like he still can play, man. He was one of my freshman football coaches, Franny Alba.
Mhm.
You know. But other than that, John, that's uh oh, here's another story. Marty. Now, Marty, do you know Marty Wisniewski?
I do not.
Okay. He he's so smart that he has no common sense. So at the time, I think it was my junior year, and he was a senior, and he was a left-handed pitcher. And he says, Ray, give me a ride up to I had my dad's 65 Buick Skylark. And he said, give me a ride up to my car. I goes, all right, just hop on. And I was only going 5 miles an hour. And I said, remember Kevin Salmon, I says, Kev, I'm going to pass his car. And now he's banging. He goes, I passed it. You passed it. You passed it. He jumps off, separates his shoulder. He's
Ugh,
supposed to play in the Daily News All City game that weekend, and I'm going, oh man, I feel bad about that. But he jumped off. It was like I would have stopped, but I was just kind of breaking his balls a little bit. Now he broke his shoulder.
that's messed up.
Yeah, yeah, it really was. What else I got for you, John? I'm trying to.
I'm here for you, man. Just here to listen to your memories.
Yeah, we always did like if guys never locked their locker, um, we used to put that atomic bomb on their jocks. And then all of a sudden they'd be wearing their jocks and their balls start heating up. Ever heard of atomic bomb?
No, I never heard of it.
That's almost like a Bengay,
Okay.
So it was a fiery red that came in a big gallon container. It looked like grease. And but man, it took some skin off.
And not in places that you want it to be, right?
Oh, you're right about that. Yeah, I remember working out like we had to work out. We ran the steps all the time. As a matter of fact, getting back to the steps, we had the ups and the down steps. We had one steps that went down, and one set of steps that went up. And now my freshman year, my locker was all the way down right outside the pit in a little shithole. And I used to do all the numbers until the last one because I was in and out of there. And I would take as many books as possible. But I was I got caught. Somebody hit me with all those books and my books go flying. And the thing is, you got to chase them because each one's kicking it like a hockey puck. And then you're down the end of the hall, So a friend of mine, my mailman, he had these straps. So he gave me two of them. So I strapped one this way and one that way, like an X, like a gift. So if somebody was knocking out, that whole thing stayed together. So I learned the hard way, just little shit like that. Here's another one, John, is what broke my heart. My wife's a school principal. And when North was closing, Doherty was closing, they gave her a call and said, yo, go over and mark some stuff that you want and we'll save it for you. So she goes, yeah, okay. She goes, Ray, do you want to take a ride? He goes, yeah, absolutely. She went up. I went straight down into the locker room area and I was crying. It looked like it was looted, like the Walmart there on Armingo Avenue. And it was sad. It was really sad. I think it was not handled the right way or ever how it was handled. The trophy case, matter of fact, I'm in the trophy case. They have an all Catholic plaque in there. And I'm in there and I was looking for that and that was gone. That trophy case right outside the pit when you come out.
Yeah.
That was all emptied out. I picked up I think it was 81 Catholic League baseball plaque that was for the school. That was laying on the floor next to bowling pins. I grabbed that and then I took it to Judge and they put it in their case.
That's cool.
Yeah. I goes, what am I going to do with it? I got nowhere to put it. I says, let somebody else enjoy the damn thing. So I had it for about a week, cleaned it up a little bit. And then I called Judge up and they said, yeah, come on. We'll put it right in the case.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, my wife is a police officer as well, and she patrols the 24th district and part of North Catholic there. And they used to get calls that they're, whoever, crackheads, whoever, they were breaking in there, and they just tore it up, and it's a shame. It's a shame,
Oh,
but speaking of that, again, you hear that the school is closing and this and that, and there's no more rumors. I mean, what goes through your mind? I mean, you've left a lot. I mean, through school and baseball for 4 years. What goes through your mind when you find out the school is closing?
Oh, actually, it didn't bother me at the time because I said our alumni would pick it all up. We would run with it. One of the guys on the board I was good friends with too is Joe Steffa, soccer player. He graduated with us, and he was on the board. He goes, "Yeah, we're going to get the alumnus together. We're going to run the school ourselves." But I don't think that the archdioceses didn't want to go that route. They probably got a good coin for the building, and they didn't want us to run it. It's not going to cost you any money. We'll buy it off you. It's like one of them.
Yeah.
But I think too, John, how my family was North Catholic. I have a son and a daughter, and my daughter says, "I want to be a Falcon." She said, she goes, "Well, Rach, unless they blend in Let's put it St. Hubert's, not St. Hubert's, but Little Flower and North. I says, you won't be able to be a Falcon, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember that day too. She said that. I goes, that's pretty cool.
So, this COVID got everything all screwed up, but, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You haven't had a chance to see anybody, especially all of our brother Falcons. So
Yeah.
for all the guys who are going to be watching this video, what kind of words of advice or what do you have to say to everybody?
Hey fellas, missed to see you last year at the Norphins affair. This year, I hope it changes, but don't take it for granted because this shit really happening.
Yeah.
I hope you get your shots, and that's it, man. Love yous.
You ready for a little bit of North Catholic trivia?
Oh, all right, go ahead.
I'm going to throw one right at your way. And again, you're not getting graded for this, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
A little bit of baseball trivia for you.
Mm-hmm.
The North Catholic baseball team won its 11th Philadelphia Catholic League crown in what year?
Baseball.
Yep. I'll read it again to you. The North Catholic baseball team won its 11th Philadelphia Catholic League crown in what year? I'll give you a hint. It's after the 80s.
Well, it had to be the 90s. Mm-hmm. But you want a Pacific year?
Pacific year.
Well, they didn't win 11 of them, did they, John? Not in 1 year.
Well, according to Wikipedia, the North Catholic baseball team won its 11th.
Oh, 11th.
11th, yep.
Oh, all right. 90. Yeah, I know. 95.
Amen. Correct answer. 1990. I think that was when Chris Heck pitched, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, Chris Heck. And is he a cop? I'm not quite sure.
I don't know.
Jaholski. They pitched together. Not, John, I can kick myself in the butt. I was a freshman coach at the time, and I got a watch. That's what came to when I just sold my watch. I'm looking 95. There it is. Yeah, Pete Mataloni was the coach. They had it was Chris Heck and it was a left-hander and right-hander. That they just threw every other game, and
I was 92. And we were like a snake-bitten team. We would win most of our games, but then the last inning, we would just collapse. And I believe 93 was they won. I think they won 93 and 95. I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not sure about 93, but I remember 95. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And what other thing I was going to say? Oh, like when I was playing, or my sophomore year, we made the playoffs every year, other than my freshman year. We lost to Tommy Filer at Ryan. He went to be a professional ball player. My junior year, we lost to O'Hara in the finals at the Catholic League, and then we lost to Judge our senior year. And the one part about we lost the championship at O'Hara at the Vet. My buddy Kevin Salmon, he got into a fight at a hockey rink and broke his hand, and he was our center fielder, and he was one of our top players, and so we kind of missed his speed and his quickness. He covered the outfield no problem, But yeah, that's 95. Yeah. But getting to my senior year, we lost to Judge, but they said you should have never lost. Well, anybody can lose, any day.
Yep. Especially in a Catholic league, our division.
You know what? It's correct. You know what? I just, like now they have like 3-game series. Yeah. And I says, man, where was that up when we were growing up? A 3-game series,
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
So is anything that we may have missed out that you wanted to, any memories out there?
Not of right now. You know what? Like I said, I jotted stuff down to give me a spark. What's going on? And no, I think I covered all what I needed to cover.
Yeah.
You know, so but I enjoyed this. I think you're doing a great job with this. I like last night. I was watching. I I bet you I watched four of them.
Nice.
Well, who'd you have? Healy, uh,
Yeah, Pat Healy the other
Pat
night.
Healy. Yeah, yeah. He was on there for a while, you know, and he was coming up with some stuff. But other than that, yeah, I think you're doing an excellent job with this.
I appreciate it, and
Yeah.
I want to thank you and your family for lending us to you tonight to share your memories at North Catholic. It was a hell of a time.
Yeah, yeah. You know, sorry about the other couple times it was happening. Actually, my wife today wanted to go get her hair cut. And my daughter finally came in, and I goes, he just texted me, get me online, get me online. Yeah. So
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed this, and it was an honor to talk to such an awesome gentleman that attended school, and it's a pleasure. And I do remember seeing you around. I guess I passed ways at the Northlands reunion. I do remember seeing your face.
yeah, you know, I'm there every year. Matter of fact, Jerry Brandizzi and Ray Radamicki, they asked me if I wanted to be guest bartender this year coming up. I was supposed to do it last year, but they didn't have it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so we'll see what happens this year.
yeah.
You know, so
Well, stay safe, my friend, and it was a pleasure hearing your story, and looking forward to seeing you. I hope you and your family stay safe and stay healthy.
yeah, you too, John, and good luck tomorrow. Like I said, let the air fly, baby.
You got it. Take
All
care,
right,
Ray.
I'll see you, buddy.